Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we'll be looking at the 112 Collective Joker figure from Mezco. And here's a quick look at the front of the box. You got a Joker logo in the middle, it says 112 Collective at the top left, the Joker on the top right, and a DC logo at the bottom right. And then when you open up the front cover, you get some really nice looking Joker artwork here on the inside. And then you're able to see the figure with all of his accessories, but it's very hard to see it because Mezco uses a lot of plastic to keep the figure from getting crushed, and there's quite a bit of a glare there. And for the back of the packaging, you have this artwork. When the slipcover's on, you get to see a couple shots of the figures, like smaller pictures of the figure doing some different things. And then once you take the slipcover off, you get one big shot of the Joker. And that's it for the packaging. As always, I'm a fan of the Mezco packaging. I like the whole collector-friendly thing, so that's very cool. Now let's take a look at the articulation. So his head is able to go side to side. Then you could kind of rotate it around. And it goes forward about that much. Then it comes back about that much. So unlike a lot of other Mezco figures, Joker's head and his neck is just one piece, so all the movement is coming from the piece that connects here into the torso. That's where all your movement's coming from. And then for his torso, you got a mid-torso joint and then a joint at the waist, and working together they're pretty good. You could get some nice movement out of them. So he's able to bend forward that much using both of them. Then you could get him to go back about that much. Then you could also get them to tilt about that much. So it's pretty good there. And then you could also get them to twist with both of them. The mid-torso twist and the waist does twist. But the clothes is obviously going to get in the way, so you can't like twist them all the way around or anything like that. Then for his arms, he doesn't have that butterfly kind of joint that a lot of Mezco figures have. So there's none of that movement. But it could come forward about that much before it's stopped by the jacket. And then it comes back a little bit more because the jacket's open, so you could get it to go way up there. And then his arms come out to the side, but there's no upper bicep, so your swivel here is just coming from the shoulder joint. Then you've got single jointed elbows that also have a swivel. Then you've got a swivel at the hand. And then you could also hinge here at the hand, as you could see there. Then for his legs, they're able to come out to the side about that much. They go back about that much. Then they come to the front about that much. Then you've got upper thigh swivel, got double jointed knees. And for his feet, they're able to rotate around. You could tilt them forward, tilt them up, and you could kind of get them to rock side to side. So he does have a pretty nice amount of articulation. It is less than a lot of the other Mezco figures. I think that this Joker's on the same kind of body that they use for the Star Trek Mezco figures. And yeah, I think it's okay for Joker. He doesn't need to have as much articulation as Batman or Spider-Man or something crazy like that. So I'm okay with what he has, even though it's a little bit less than a lot of the other Mezco figures. And then for his accessories, just like his articulation, it's a little bit less than we've seen with a lot of the other Mezco figures. So, but he does come with a couple different sets of hands. He comes with a pair of fists. Then he comes with an open hand. Then he has one hand that's holding a playing card, like a Joker card. And then he only came with one gun gripping hand. And I think it's kind of whack that you could only get him to hold his gun in his right hand. It should have at least came with two gun gripping hands. But this hand can be used to grip onto his revolver that he comes with. And then he has a set of wind-up chattering teeth. And here's a closer look at his gun. This gun is very nice, but I think I was spoiled a little bit by the Punisher gun. I kind of thought this would have some like cool hidden features, like maybe this thing would come forward or this thing would spin around, but none of that stuff is going on here. But it's okay. It's a very nicely sculpted gun. It's painted nice. It has like a nice gray color here. It kind of looks like they were going for like a bit of a shiny effect, but it's not really apparent. But it doesn't look like just flat gray, so it looks nice. And then you've got purple here on the grip. But yeah, it's a very cool looking gun. Very happy with this thing. And here's a closer look at his wind-up chattering teeth. And this thing's really nice, but I was a little bit surprised that it wasn't articulated. I thought these things would be able to move up and down, but they don't. So just pretty much a piece of plastic, but it looks very good and it's an appropriate accessory for Joker, so I like it. But I think it would have been cool if it would have been able to articulate. And then you've got this really nice looking stand. You got a bunch of ha-ha-has all over there, and then you've got like a peg right there that he could stand on. Or you could pop the peg out. It's a little tough sometimes, but you could pop that out, stick this in there, and then you've got the arm that you could use for Joker. And here's a look at him on the stand using the arm. And the arm comes with all the Mezco figures, but it's kind of pointless with Joker. I don't think you're going to really need that for him. And here's Joker just using the peg from the stand. And I think he looks pretty cool like that. I've said it before, these Mezco stands are really nice and everything, but for me they're just a little bit too big. You know, I don't want to be picky or complaining about it because it's really cool that they come with stands. But for me personally, they just take up too much space on my shelf, so I haven't really been using them lately. But they look very cool, and I like the fact that they come with them. In my opinion, I just wish they were a little bit smaller, that's all. And he comes with two different heads. This is the first one, is just a big crazy smile. And I really like the way the head looks. I like the purple under his eyes, or like the dark spots under his eyes. It makes him look really, you know, like drugged out or something like that. I like his dirty teeth. And I really like that creepy smile. There's a lot of cool like creases and wrinkles in his face that are nicely detailed. And there's a little bit of a paint wash in there, so it brings all that stuff out. It looks really good. And then you have his green hair that looks really nice. It's slicked back. And it's green with a bit of a wash in it. So that's really nice. And yeah, look, I really like his bugged out eyes. He looks really creepy. And then he comes with this crazy maniacal laugh face. And this is really nice too. I like the darkness around his eyes. That looks really good. Again, there's a lot of nicely sculpted facial details in there. And it has like a nice paint wash on there, so it brings it all out. It definitely looks better in person. I don't think it's capturing how good it looks here on the camera, but yeah, it looks really good. I like the way it came out. I really like that big crazy smile on there. It looks really creepy, just like the other head. And then with this one, his hair is all messed up. It looks like maybe he got punched in the face by Batman and just started laughing all crazy. You know how he does. And yeah, it looks good. I like it. His green hair looks really nice. There isn't much of a wash actually with either of the heads, but it looks like they tried a little bit. But for the most part, it looks like it's just painted green. But yeah, again, he just looks bugged out and crazy. But it's really, really perfect for Joker. Both of these head sculpts are really, really incredible. And for some size comparisons, here he is next to DC Icon's Green Lantern and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And here he is next to Marvel Legends Havoc and Marvel Legends Wonder Man. And then here he is next to Figure Arts Captain America and Caesar from Planet of the Apes by NECA. Then here he is next to Mezco Spock and Mezco Frankenstein. And here he is next to Mezco Commander Rogers and Mezco Green Arrow. And then here he is next to Mezco Dark Knight Returns Batman and Mezco Batman vs. Superman Batman. And then here he is next to Marvel Legends Old Man Logan and Marvel Legends Sunfire. And here's a quick look at him next to DC Icon's Harley Quinn. And I think they look really cool together. I'd really like to see Mezco do a comic book version of Harley Quinn. I really have no interest in the Suicide Squad version of her, and the Mezco one doesn't really look that great anyway, so I'm probably going to pass on that one. But yeah, I really hope they do a comic book version, or a cartoon version, I'm sorry, like the animated series version pretty soon. Yeah, that'd be really cool, because even just these two look great together. I think it'd look amazing to have a Mezco version of her to go along with them, so... Now here's a closer look at the figure itself, and I really like the way that all the clothes came out, like the vest, you got the cool jacket and everything. Looks really, really cool. I like the tie, the collar looks good. This is probably like the most complex Mezco figure in terms of how the clothes is, because you got a lot of stuff going on. And it's really good. I'd really like to get some figures like this of just like, you know, with some black suits and just some generic heads or something to use kind of like as agents or different kinds of things, you know, but or some like gangsters, mobsters or whatever. That'd be cool because yeah, I really like the way this looks. And yeah, with the purple for Joker, it's just perfect. For me, I think the pants could have been a little bit tighter. It's probably my only minor complaint when it comes to the clothes. But it looks good. But check this out. This is really cool. It's got Batman socks on. That's cool. But these aren't cloth. These are just sculpted. But yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. That's a nice little detail they did. And the shoes look really good. They're sculpted nice. You got a couple different shades of purple on there. The laces are actually a different color than the rest of the shoe. And then the bottom is brown. That's nice. And then for his gloves, they're sculpted. Got some sculpted details there. And yeah, it looks really good. I really like the way the clothes came out. It's really perfect for Joker. And also, you could take this jacket off. And I think you should be very careful with it. So I think it's best to probably pop off the hands. And then put his arms all the way back like that. And then slip it off. That's probably the easiest way. So that you don't break the figure at all. But yeah, look at that. That looks really good too. Gives you some options as far as posing and stuff like that. So I like that a lot. And I suggest taking the jacket off before you start moving the elbows, because it was really, really tight. And if you have the jacket on, you can't really see where the joint is at. You know, it could be like this, and you could be trying to force it that way, and you could break it. So I'd say take the jacket off, but be very careful while you're doing that. And then kind of get his arms moving and stuff. But yeah, look at that. How cool is that? And then on the vest here, the buttons are sculpted. It's like a little piece of plastic for the buttons. They don't unbutton or anything like that, but they look good. And another thing that's kind of cool is if you lift his vest up, it's kind of hard to see. Let's see if we could take a look here. If you lift his vest up, you can see that there's actually buttons on the shirt under too. You could just barely see it. But I think that was pretty cool that they did that, because most of the time you're not even really going to see that. But that's a nice little detail hidden under the vest. And yeah, look at that. I really like the way this looks, just like this clothes, you know. It's not like a superhero thing. This is just like something normal that could be used for a lot of different things. I do wish that he came with a more traditional style head, where the head is connected to the neck and could detach there, because then you could be able to do some cool head swaps. Here you could only pretty much trade his head with Spock or with Frankenstein. And here's a quick look at that if anybody's interested. Yeah, see, it would have been really cool if you could put different heads onto him. But yeah, just the two of them is the only ones you could do, until Mezco comes out with other figures that have a similar head and neck design. But when I saw Joker, I thought he would have made like a perfect purple man. So I was hoping that I could pop the Marvel Legends head on there somehow, but you really can't unless you make something to work as the neck. But I think that could have been kind of cool. You know, even though the Hasbro Purple Man head kind of looks more plastic and toyish than a Mezco head, I think this would have made for an okay Purple Man. That would have been cool. Could have him fight Daredevil or something, and I'm sure some good customizers could find out a cool way to do that. But yeah, that would have been dope. And one thing I want to warn people about is when you're changing his head, be real careful, because this ball and peg, the arm that connects to the ball is really, really long, as you could see, if you could see down there. It's really long, so when you're pressing the head on, you don't want this thing to kind of go in crooked or catch somewhere and, you know, force the head on and then snap that thing. I kind of felt like I was going to do that a couple times, because once you start getting it on there, actually it snapped in okay right there, but there's been a couple times where I try to get it on there and I feel like it's catching or something. So don't force it or anything, because you might break it. If you feel it catching or not going in smooth, pull it back out and check it out or retry. But yeah, so be very careful. Just wanted to give a little warning on that, because that's something I felt when I was messing with it. I kind of was thinking, I was like scared that I was going to snap it or something, but yeah, be careful. So overall, I really like this figure. I think that Mezco did an amazing job once again. There are a couple things that I was disappointed in when it comes to Joker. The main thing being the fact that he didn't have that many accessories. He does have a few things, but they could have included a lot more because his articulation is limited compared to like other Mezco figures, but they could have made up for that by having a bunch of accessories in there. And you know, at least 2 trigger finger hands. I was really surprised that it only came with 1. But there's all kinds of cool stuff they could have added, like maybe some, you know, a thing of like dynamite, or maybe like a sign that says bang that you could put inside the guns, maybe a Tommy gun, or maybe like a flower that you could stick in the barrel of the gun, or just a bunch of goofy stuff you could have done with his guns. That would have been really cool. Yeah, but you know, they kind of dropped the ball when it comes to accessories, you know. And if they are going to do that, include less accessories, then they should be less expensive, because you know they have the previews exclusive Punisher coming out, and they increased all of the accessories. They got a bunch of cool stuff going on, and then it's almost twice as much as a normal Mezco figure. So if they're gonna, you know, like not put that many accessories, then they should really reduce the price a little bit, because you know, you could feel cheated. Even though it's a really good figure, and I didn't feel like when I got Frankenstein, I felt a little bit cheated, even though I liked the figure a lot. And I didn't feel that as much here with Joker, but I definitely felt like he was lacking a little bit and he could have had some more accessories. But if I paid $60, maybe I wouldn't even thought that. But you know, at like 75, 80 bucks, you're gonna think stuff like that. But overall, he's a really good figure. It's very nice to have some villains finally from Mezco 112 Collective. I think he might be the first one, the first like super villain to come from the Mezco Collective line, actually. So that's pretty cool, and it's very nice to have someone for Batman to face finally. And yeah, I really like him. He's good. I really like the head sculpts. They did an amazing job of capturing like the creepy smile that Joker does. So that's it. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that cool stuff. And at this point, I'm 120 subscribers away from 2,000. So if you enjoyed the video and you think it's worth sharing, please do so that I could get to that number sooner than later. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much for all the people out there that do share my stuff so far and repost things when I post them on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's it. Peace.